Hey there, I'm the Madcatster. Am I glad to see you here? Well, Rich Lux and I have had an eventful day, right, Rich?
Yes, very eventful.
So we went to Ace Fest, and we tried to enter, and apparently they, as I'm sure many of you are not surprised, had a welcoming committee we felt so special. They practically rolled out the red carpet. We were greeted by security, and the Ace family's monkey videographers were there, acting like, I don't know, they're trying to get clickbait, I guess. And, I'm going to show you clips.
They were taunting us.
Yeah, they were taunting us and calling us names and talking, what would you expect from these people, right? But I'm going to show you some clips from the actual encounter. And I just want to tell you that, we, of course, believe it's because, we've each, and I'm more than Rich, have had videos criticizing the Ace family. And
commentary.
and they apparently don't like to be criticized. But, here I am with, Rich has got a hell of a lot more followers than me. Here I am with 13,000 followers, and Austin and Catherine McBroom have decided to make my year by giving me all this clout by throwing me out with this little tiny channel.
And you didn't even have your hat on.
No, and I didn't even have my hat on or anything. And but anyways, so I think I'm going to be sending Catherine some thank you flowers because I do know where to send them. So stay tuned. I may make a follow-up video showing you can help me pick the flowers out. But I was thinking after, Rich had mentioned, I'm the gayest thing on YouTube, blah, blah. And then it struck me. They let in Def Noodles, who's no stranger to them and who skewers the Ace family regularly. They let in Atozy, who has criticized them. They let in Spillsesh, who has criticized them, and some other people. The only two people that got kicked out were the two gay guys from YouTube. So, and I'm being totally serious, that makes me stop and think. Now, when they said, do you know why we're kicking you out? They never said, oh, it's because you criticize the Ace family. I honestly am beginning to think that they just excluded us because we're gay and they're discriminating against us. Because why would they let in all these other hypercritical people and not the two of us? The only two gay influencers.
The gayest thing, the house.
Right, the only two gay YouTubers to show up didn't get let in. But all the straight ones got let in. So I think Catherine and Austin are homophobic, and I honestly think that, in my opinion, the motivation behind this may have something also, not just because we criticize them, but because we're gay. And they are discriminating against us because we're gay. Why else would they let Def Noodles in? I mean, he goes off on them, I think, sometimes worse than I do. So you be the judge, But it just doesn't make sense to me why, I could understand if they kicked all the influencers out.
Again, this was a moment to redeem themselves. And
they could have, if they had let us in and it was what they said it was going to be, we would have had to report on it. We would have videotaped the rides, the food, and then left it up to you to decide whether it was what they promised. But the fact that they didn't want it recorded also gives me pause to say, well, they're just validating all the negative comments that have been made and all of the criticism about the things that they've done and promised and not delivered on because they didn't want us to show they're too embarrassed and ashamed of what they threw together at the last minute, that they don't want it shown to the public and they don't want you guys to see it because they know people are going to say, look, it was a lame ass festival and, but I'm also going to be filing suit against them back in my home state for breach of contract because in the law we have something called minimum contacts where if you want to sue someone in your state and they aren't a resident there, whether it's a company or a person, they have to have what's called minimum contacts with the state. And the fact that Austin and Catherine's, the nature of their business is online and they sell tickets and merchandise all over the country means that the court will presume that they have minimum contacts with my state. So I can file a lawsuit, which I'm going to do because it's the principle, in my home state against Austin and Catherine McBroom and Ace or Ass Hat Collection or whatever the name of their company is. And I will show you what's going on with that. So without further ado, I'm going to cut now to some clips of what actually transpired and the name calling of their videographers. And at one point he said as I was walking away, and you'll hear it, you're doing the walk of shame. And I turned around and went, I'm not ashamed. Are you ashamed? It's like, what do I have to be ashamed about? Because you didn't let me into Ace Fest and I didn't get to ride the Ferris wheel. I'm ashamed. The people that should be ashamed are Austin and Catherine McBroom for being the clowns that they are. And believe me, this is not the end of the story. I promise you, they're going to rue the day that they chose to fight this little YouTube channel. So, without further ado, here we go. Let's go to some of the video clips. I'm not ashamed. Are you ashamed?
I'm trying to get in.
Yeah?
Right now?
Yeah? Fuck off, dude.
For weekend.
So you guys, we just got kicked out of Ace Fest, Ace Mess. They let in a Tozy and Spill Sesh and some of the others who have also run stories. But they are not letting us in. And you can see. So I will be suing them because they did not deliver on what they promised, so it's a breach of contract. So Rich.
So we walked up to the ticket counter to get our tickets. They scanned my ticket. They scanned your ticket. We're supposed to get wristbands.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll get our money back, but we got pulled aside and we were told we couldn't come in. Apparently they don't want the press there because, you know, commentary channels. So we got turned away. So I wonder what it is you're hiding. I mean, if it was a solid event, then there's nothing to, you know.
If it's supposed to be as good an event as they say it is, why aren't they letting us in?
That's interesting. That's very
interesting. They
interesting.
made us pay for parking, so they lied about that.
You know what's interesting about it is that, you know, I've been doing this for 8 years, right? We cover Tati Westbrook, James Charles, Jeffree Star. I've gone to all their events, no issues, said hi, and there's nothing to hide. It's like why wouldn't you want the press there, the commentary part of YouTube? You know, it's interesting.
And so the security guard, apparently we were right about Ace Fest and Soul Fest.
We're gonna get in the car. It's 100 degrees right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get in the car. Hold on, you guys. So guys, Rich and I are back in the car because they had some big burly security guards looking for us, waiting for us, because they don't want us to see what a joke this is. And we already know from people who have been inside that they have like 5 rides. They're trying to pawn their shitty sweatshirts in it's 100 degrees here in the desert. The Summer of Soul Festival, I think we were right.
Yeah.
That it's all the same thing, because when I told him, well, I've got a ticket for Soul Festival, he was like, well, you can't go in there either. So it's like, well, you're not in charge of that event, so why wouldn't we be able to go into Summer of Soul Festival? So, you know, they charged us for parking, which they lied,
I
of
feel
course.
honored.
Yeah, I do too.
They even like recognize us since the jump. I mean, whoa.
Well, you know, what do I have now? 13,000 followers, and they're obviously afraid of me for calling them out about the truth. So, you know, if they didn't want us to get it, you know, in my opinion, if this was me and someone was criticizing me, I would want them to come in so they could show you're wrong. Look you were wrong. This is the most wonderful Disneyland meets Coachella ever.
So, you know, what I'll do now, because I couldn't enter, I'm going to call my bank, get my money back, dispute the charge.
Yeah, I'm disputing my charges too, and the free parking that they charged us for.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, we know Tozy was in there, Spill Sesh was in there. They didn't kick them out, so clearly, I wear it as a badge of honor. Clearly I have more clout, and Rich has more clout than a Tozy or Spill Sesh or any of them.
Let me tell you what's so frustrating is that I flew over 3,000 miles to get here, and then drove an extra 2 hours to get here. You probably flew more miles to get here.
It took me 6.5 hours to get here.
Housing, food, hotel, all to literally from Houston, Texas to Lancaster, California.
Yeah.
To get turned away. Like, what?
Yeah. Well,
what?
and you know, I'm not suing them because they didn't let me in. I'm going to sue them for breach of contract because they took away, when I bought my ticket, they were still offering things that they now don't offer. So that's a breach of contract. So I'm going to sue them. I don't care if it is only $120. I want to make an example of them, and I want to drag them into court. And I want to see them in court. And clearly, and we'll have to look, and I'll ask Atozi if we can use some of his footage. But from what I understand, the rides were really lame. From what I understand, in the food trucks, now, this is what happens when you do such a shitty job planning a shitty event, that you don't tell people that you need to bring cash, because most of the food vendors, from what I heard, what handful of them there are, do not take credit cards. And yet they gave us no information to say, oh, please bring cash, you're going to need them. So, it's an Ace family ass fest is what it is. It's turned into the ultimate.
From what we've seen driving up, it just seems like a little carnival with a banner that says Ace Fest.
Yeah, it looks like somebody just threw it up on the fence quickly.
And listen, no ill will was done on our part.
And we were cooperative.
Walking in.
We wanted to be proven wrong, honestly. I wanted to go in there and say, look at guys, I guess it really was for real. But clearly Catherine and Austin are so ashamed of this event and how pathetic it is. They don't want you to see the truth because it's going to bear out everything we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And clearly, I don't even think Summer of Soul Festival exists, to be honest with you right now, because the parking is for Ace Fest Summer of Soul, and they're claiming that the event's down there. He said, down there.
How did you feel when they told you to leave?
I was like, whatever.
I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that.
I was like, who am I? They probably don't even know who I am.
Yeah.
Thank you, Catherine and Austin, for putting me on the map. Thank you so much for giving me the confirmation and credibility that I was craving.
Wow.
And for you to give my little channel all that credibility and clout. Thank you so. Mwah. I'm going to send you flowers for making my day. Because if you thought I was going to be offended or hurt or angry, the security guard's like, how do you want this to go down? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? How do I want this to go down? We'll turn around and leave, dude. What are you going to do? Pick me up and carry me? You lay a fucking finger on me, and you and the Ace family are going to be in court in 2 seconds. So, we could see one Ferris wheel, and we know from what Atozi has reported that it's just lame. It's really lame. It's really, really, $120 for what? And I paid $15 for Summer of Soul, and I, honest to God, from the way he was talking, got the impression there's no such thing as Summer of Soul Fest. I think this was all I think Ace Family basically took over Summer of Soul Festival and created this. But in my opinion, this just proves everything. The McBrooms and the Ace Family know that they did a poor job of planning. They know they didn't deliver Disneyland meets Coachella like they promised. They promised when they were selling tickets, it said Disneyland versus Coachella. They promised a wild animal park. They promised us live performances. They took that stuff all away and just left a bunch of karting rides, a handful of food trucks, the food is not free, just like the parking is not free, even though it was supposed to be. So they lied. They've lied about what they were going to include. They've lied about the amenities. They provided no advance information to anybody. But, they looked at me like they thought I was going to give them a fight or something. I'm like, dude, you're not going to get a fight out of me. You're just, this is beautiful. You just confirmed for me that everything, we're calling Keemstar. You just confirmed for me that this event is a failure because you don't want us to show people. If it was so great, you'd want us to show people.
Yeah, I don't want to say those numbers, just 7-1. No.
If they were so proud of this event, they would have wanted all of their detractors in there to show people that we were wrong. But obviously I can't do that, so my assumption has to be that we were right all along. And Ace Fest is just, it's what we totally were expecting. Everything we theorized about Soul Festival and Ace Fest appears, in my opinion, to be
You know what?
correct.
So they had a camera crew there. Did you get the camera?
They
guy
had
on?
people there to record us, and they were calling us names like, oh, I'm so hurt. Oh,
no, I don't care about that. I just feel like you're recording it so you can get the highlights of the thing, but the general press can't record.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, you're taking a walk of shame. I'm like, I'm not ashamed. Are you ashamed? What am I ashamed of? For what? Reporting on the truth? And the fact that this reception they arranged, I'm honored. It was like they should have, it's almost as if they rolled the red carpet out for us. I'm so honored that the Ace family thinks so much of us, that they had a welcoming committee and they had the press there so that, or I say press very loosely, God only knows who the hell they were, but they call it the walk of shame, and I don't know what he wanted. Maybe he thought I was going to say, oh, no comment, and so he could get like a clickable moment.
Yeah.
But I turned right around and said, walk of shame? I'm not ashamed. Are you ashamed? You should be ashamed because you're supporting this. But,
and then when I asked him, what media outlet are you? He's like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was the Ace family recording for their bullshit.
Yeah, and I straight up said
PR to try to spin this.
Rich Lux, celebrity news and gossip. That's all we do.
But I got
celebrity
news. I got news for them. My video's gonna be up before theirs. So you're gonna know the truth before they try to spin it the way they love to spin. Everything is wonderful in Ace World, and you know, I'm tempted now to come out for that boxing event because I think it's going to be as lame as we see. There's barely any ticket sales for that event as well. And we went up to the window just now, you could buy tickets, the whole, like the VIP packages, everything were for sale. That's how badly the sales are for this event. So, you know, if anyone slowed down the ticket sales, Catherine, it was you and Austin, because you guys just have a knack for not giving the whole picture and telling people as it is. This event had such short planning, you know, and the boxing event's the same thing. Nobody wants to fight in it. They've got very few fighters. 2 of the fighters canceled already. So clearly it's a sad, sad day in Ace World, because I think we've finally reached the anticlimax of this whole fiasco. And
we gotta go.
Here, security's here, so you can see he's right here. No, I'm not putting my window down. Bye.
We're leaving right now. We're just waiting for the car to start. We're leaving.
Yeah, we'll be filing a lawsuit to get breach of contract. Don't worry. So you can see our welcoming. See, how honored are you to have this welcoming committee here? It's such a beautiful day.
We're leaving.
All of you. And what? I think he's taking my license number, not realizing that this is actually a rental car. That's how stupid they are.
Oh, look, there's people right there.
They're so stupid.
Look, there's people right there filming.
Yeah. So I cannot, this was like, you guys, the Ace family, thank you so much for making my year. You really did. That was absolutely, I couldn't have asked for more, to have my whole existence and my whole commentary on the nonsense you guys get up to validated by this behavior. I cannot tell you how wonderful that makes me feel. So you guys, that is the story so far of what happened today, and it just really goes to show you that Austin and Catherine know absolutely nothing about marketing and promotion. If they had, they would not have excluded us, because they should realize that by doing what they did, all they've done is draw more attention to their deficiencies and their failures. And hey, good for me, good for Rich Lux, bad for them. And you know, I think honestly it goes to show their homophobia, and that all of their other critics were allowed in, even though some of them have said things that are equally as detracting as what we say or have said. So you be the judge. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of all this? What do you think I should do next? I'm so glad to have you guys along for this, and I'm sorry that we didn't get inside, but I don't think it's necessary at this point. Do you? I mean, I think we've confirmed what we suspected all along. So I will be making a follow-up video to this, so be on the lookout. Probably tomorrow I'll do it. But thank you so much, you guys, for coming along on this adventure. And thanks to Rich for being with me through all of this last few days. I'm really glad to have had him with me. And I will see you guys in the next one.
Pretty please. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I get a treat for every new sub. Thank you.